Okay, moving on. Where's Antonio? What happened to him? Has he been kidnapped?
Antonio.
Has he been kidnapped by Nova Stevens' team?
Oh my God.
Oh, that was a joke, people.
Rafa.
Take it there.
Oh my God.
Are we getting political again?
Let me just check my email just in case I got any hate email. Let me check. La, 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 la.
I'm having my dinner. It's 7:20 p.m. here in Victoria. Just
Okay.
No hate email so far. That's good. Next topic related to Miss Universe. Miss France pageant faces lawsuit requiring all contestants to be at least 5 feet 5 inches tall, unmarried, and child free. Now, what in heaven's name do these feminists want? I just don't get it.
Crazy.
You think?
They're more than crazy.
Look at these babes. Aren't they gorgeous?
Yes.
So Miss France, the country's 101-year-old beauty pageant, is being sued by a feminist activist group and 3 unsuccessful applicants over alleged discriminatory entry requirements. An appeal has been filed against the pageant's parent company, Endemol Production, by Osez le Féminisme, Dare to be Feminist, who in a news statement issued on Tuesday said Miss France contestants perform a work service and therefore should be protected from prejudice under French employment law. Discrimination against employees on the basis of gender, sexual orientation, family situation, or genetic characteristics is considered unlawful in France. A 2021 application form for the national beauty pageant revealed candidates would not be considered if they were not at least 5'5" or if they had ever been married or had children. Further disqualifiers for potential contestants include wearing weaves or hair extensions, having tattoos, and smoking. The application also asks for clothing size, and it requests that prospective beauty queens do not undergo any major physical changes after they are accepted into the competition. Failing to comply could land the contestant with a €5,000 or $5,822 fine, according to the terms. I didn't know that at all. I did not have any clue whatsoever, etc. While the mission statement of the competition is to find, quote, the young woman most representative of beauty and elegance, the strict registration requirements mean contenders for the crown are somewhat limited. Quote, beyond exploiting women for economic gain, this contest, through the violations of the law of which it is guilty, has a negative and retrograde impact on the whole of society, wrote Osez le Féminisme in its new statement. It is high time Endemol Production finally removes all sexist clauses from the regulations, etc. All right, so this is very interesting, and it's also one of the hottest topics, in pageantry at this moment. What does everybody think? Does everybody agree with this feminist group? Hector, you're dying to say something. What do you think?
Honestly, Miss France is a private organization, it's a private business, and they're going to decide whatever they want, okay? But in the terms of some requirements right now, I'm like, what? Because in the last Miss Universe, we saw a Miss Australia Universe from 5'3" to make the semi-finalists, Why the contestants that wants to be Miss France don't want to be less than 5'5", This is something that for me is very stupid because height is not important right now. More important are, another things. But I don't know, I think Miss Universe organization needs to bring to the table the right laws and the right requirements to be in Miss Universe, you know? And maybe Miss France can change some of the requirements that they have that honestly it's not that I don't like or I like, but they need to be more in this time, you know, they need to be more like Miss Universe, because at the end of the time, at the end of the day, they need to be like Miss Universe, you know. I hope so you understand my point.
Can I interject? Have you guys noticed that the official name of Miss France is not Miss Universe France? It has never been Miss Universe France. It has always been Miss France. You know why? Because of branding. Miss France as a brand is very, very significant. When they select a Miss France represents the French people, not the universe. It is a real job. The prize package for Miss France is one of the most lucrative prize packages in the world. Far more lucrative than Miss Universe or Miss USA.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why when a Miss France winner is crowned, you know, they're given the choice. Either you want to compete in Miss Universe, Miss World, or you can just stay home and fulfill your obligations in Miss France. And some of them choose to stay home and just become a regular Miss France. You know, so look at Miss South Africa. You don't call Miss Universe South Africa. It's always Miss South Africa. You know, so it's the same thing with feminine Miss India. Miss India. You don't call Miss Universe India or Miss Diva India. It's always Miss India. Okay. So yeah. So that's why. And also, by the way, the French are very resistant to changes. So that's why the Miss France organization, wants to maintain these regulations. Peter, what do you like to say?
I'm probably going to end up in the unpopular view because I actually
let's go for the unpopular. Please.
You know what, Rafa, you know me too well.
Yes.
I'm actually in the side of the feminists with this one. I think the rules are absolutely archaic. I think they are definitely out of date. I have been studying anti-discrimination laws here in Australia, and so seeing what the Miss France the must-haves that you need to have to be part of the competition actually shocked me. That your height has nothing to do with you fulfilling your roles and the duties of said title. Smoking and tattoos, I don't know about that, but it is a private enterprise, but even private enterprises are actually answerable to anti-discrimination laws. So I am actually on the side of the feminists for in this instance. As I read and I do further study into it, it actually does make me feel very nervous because I do believe that pageants in general are swimming in very dangerous waters. I don't think this is going to be the first time that we're going to have a pageant sued for anti-discrimination. And I think it's very important for us to listen. I think it's very important for us to hear out the other side, because I think that's really the only way we can move forward and grow and ensure our survival. I think the more we fight this, I think it's going to be a losing battle. I think to stay relevant, we really need to listen to the other side, and maybe they have something worthwhile to say.
Phil, do you agree?
Well, let me tell you this. When we first talked about this over the chat, at first, my reaction was like, why are they suing a beauty contest? Like that has standards. So I was just like, they're like researched on it, and now to a point, whereas I realized that being Miss France it's not just a beauty pageant. It is a job where you hire a Miss France to do certain responsibilities. And that's where the feminist, for me, has a legal standpoint, because you're hiring someone. So when you're hiring someone, basically you're discriminating someone.
Correct.
You're alienating a certain um how do I say it? Certain part or certain group, you know? So
Yeah.
I totally get it, and I totally agree with Peter on this. And I don't think that Peter is on the unpopular side, because in a changing world right now, we really need to educate ourselves. And that starts by, you know, um, knowing what, listening to other people too. Because for you like to be successful these days, you really have to listen to to uh, to all opinions. Mhm.
Okay.
That's just my 2 cents.
Okay, Antonio, what do you think?
Well, wow, I have a lot of opinions about that, but
Can you imagine Miss Venezuela limiting its height requirement to 5'8" or
that's
5'7"?
something.
I think right now it's 5'7" is the minimum height requirement.
But that's something I think about cultural that I think that is happening very slow, especially in Latin America, but it's changing in a slow pace, but it will change. It's fun. I can tell you, having living in Canada for the last 6 years, I have a new mindset. So right now, I really think that all these rules, first, Miss France rules are like extremely barbaric, but also Miss Universe rules are very old-fashioned. In my opinion, now beauty pageants are much far from let's see a girl like how they look. It's more about how they are in all the sense, like very far even for the look, believe it or not. So for me, those rules that you have to have a specific height, that you have to be married, they have to be updated. At the end of the day, I think that it's more about empower women right now. Like every girl has the right, even if she's like 5'1", she can compete. It's the organization, if they want the winner to represent their country, like as the queen of their country, or maybe like to represent in an international pageant. But I think that every girl has the right to compete, and we don't have to have rules. And at the end of the day, it's our organization who decides what they want to crown. But every girl should have the right to compete, in my opinion. Sorry.
Okay, so basically all four of you agree with the feminists, right?
I do.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. I think it's
Still
more of a
be-
blessing thing.
still be-
If Miss France would just do a Miss France universe, then they can impose the height. Because I do think that the height, some of the rules are imposed by the organizations like Miss World or Miss Universe. It's not Miss France's fault that sometimes you have to be 5'5" if Miss Universe wants a 5'5" contestant. That's just my opinion.
Okay, so here's two things. The demands that these feminists want from Miss France actually can be easily satisfied by joining a new pageant called Universal Woman, which is scheduled to take place in Dubai sometime in March 2022. When you study the criteria for this new pageant, the age range is from 25 to 40 years old. You can be married, you can have children, you can be single and be a mother and have kids. There's no height requirement. How do I know? Because I spoke directly with the national director. She told me, what they require from each contestant. So yeah, so my problem is that if every pageant in the world appease or yield to all the demands made by these feminists, then every pageant will look the same. There's no more distinction. You cannot distinguish.
Realistically
Miss
speaking,
World
though,
from Miss
Rafa,
Universe.
all pageants look the same at the moment anyway.
Yeah, realistically.
Right.
But
We all
they
look the
all
same
have
at the moment anyway.
Fine.
have swimsuits.
Yeah.
But
So, it's for someone who doesn't know pageants, they wouldn't be able to tell the difference between universe and grand, earth and world. It's, to the general population who don't
Right.
know pageants, We all
Well,
look the same anyway.
but
I think I can speak on behalf of maybe even Australia, who's probably at the forefront of this. I think times are definitely changing. So the demise of the whole Miss Australia system happened in 80, in the late 80s and 89 and 90, when they did succumb to, the demands of feminists and people wanting change. So they've opened the competition to everybody. We even had men competing for the Miss Australia title. And 1989 was pretty much the last time it was ever televised, because back then people just weren't interested in that change, even though we were ahead of it. But if we were to put that now, I think it would be a completely different story. I think we're, as a civilization, I think we are more educated. I think we've opened our eyes to different things. So I think times are definitely changing. And yes, believe it or not, I am also a traditionalist in very many, in a lot of sense. But like I said before, we need to kind of listen, to ensure our survival.
But going back to what Hector said, that Miss France is a private organization that can make its own rules. If I were to own a pageant, if I were to create a pageant, establish my own rules, I wouldn't want any of my applicants to have tattoos. I wouldn't want any of them to have visible, marks on their arms, on their legs. I mean, when I see a beautiful girl wearing a beautiful gown, but yet this beautiful look is damaged by one ugly, horrible tattoo, I'm just automatically turned off. And you can't blame Miss France, because some of Miss France sponsors are modeling agencies who happen to prefer girls with no tattoos, girls who are over 5'5", girls who are slender and svelte, and girls who basically typify the traditional French archetype of beauty.
I think this is why I think pageantry and
that's why again, privacy versus public.
Right. I think pageantry and the modeling industries are always going to be very problematic in that sense, because I think if you are, there are certain things where your job actually does mean you can't have these things physically. And, if they have a certain look that they're trying to promote branding wise, and a tattoo gets in the way, if it is a hindrance for what they're trying to do, then absolutely. I think it's a very difficult thing to also prove discrimination unless it's a direct and obvious thing. So it's going to be very interesting to see where this goes and how this pans out, because like I said to you before, it's such a difficult thing to prove that you have been a victim of discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for all of you guys, but that's something that, is funny, because when I talk to my husband, and it's true, like, I don't like, now my mindset changed, but now, for example, like, I don't like just to think that when there's the Miss Universe pageant that we judge the girls because of their look. I know that it's a beauty pageant, but I think we're already involved about that. And I'm not sure about you guys. Like, for me, like, I hate when people say in the comments, oh, she has a horrible body, or she's beautiful, she should be in the top. For me, when I see a girl, like, I don't care about the look. I mean, I care about how confident she is, like how healthy body she has, how she, like in the evening gowns, I don't care about, even the gown. I mean, I'm more care about like how she confident, how elegant, she wore the dress. And I think that's why we need to switch everybody the mindset, because at the end of the day, that's what is happening in the world. That's why a lot of people they don't care about pageants, because they see it like, how can you see, how can you judge a girl, on the look? So if we really want beauty pageant to survive, we all need to have to change our mindset. And it's not more about look, it's more about personality, it's more about confidence. That's what now beauty pageants are like right now.
Yeah.
Well,
Rafa.
I agree.
Rafa.
At the end, it's all about, honestly, no matter what, Miss Universe, Miss World, Miss Grand, Miss whatever, at the end, it's a business, and at the end, it's about the sponsors.
Mhm. Yeah, it's
You can have confidence. You
Yeah.
can have the best beauty with the purpose. You can have the best technical skills. But honestly, darling, if you want to be Miss Universe, if you want to be Miss World, if you want to be Miss whatever you want, you need to be beautiful no matter what.
Exactly.
just
Thank you.
Sorry.
It's
Mm.
the whole
How do you
package.
define beauty, though? And
Exactly.
who?
How
Okay,
do you
okay,
define
okay,
beauty?
How do you
okay.
define
Let
beauty,
me
and who
define. Let me
decides who
define
is
beauty for
beautiful?
Peter.
Mm.
You need to be. You need to be commercial. You need to be telegenic, and you need to be gorgeous to the camera, to the sponsors. Because at the end of the day, you know, Peter, that is the most important thing. It's about money.
Yes, unfortunately, like it just shows like
Yes.
how divided we are and how we cannot please everyone, and it just shows how beauty is fluid. You cannot define a general beauty like this
Correct.
is
Beauty is
beautiful,
fluid,
you
Phil.
know.
You're absolutely right. Yep.
So like
So,
at the end of the day,
so
like it is something for us. It is made for entertainment. It's something for us to talk about. You know, as per for their survival, I'm pretty sure that just as long as we talk about them, they're gonna survive. Like right now, it's booming. I can see it. Like Philippines before. Let's take a look at Philippines. I thought like there were only two camps, famous camps. Now you have so many camps in the Philippines. They're doing international. So yeah, it just shows that how opinionated we are. But at the end of the day, we're all united by beauty pageants, and that's what's important.
I predict in the year 2039,
Okay.
Miss Universe will crown its first midget lesbian Black Arab
Rafa!
Come
single
on.
with
Come
3
on,
children.
Rafa.
Oh, so it would change. I don't know.
I predict.
You know,
You never
you never
know.
know.
You never know.
You
You
never know.
guys, you're part of the woke culture. You guys are encouraging these changes.
No, but
So,
guys,
hey.
let me do something. A very good example, maybe because I this is an example that came to my mind. For like people is still thinking about her, and they say like, why she won? Remember that Shauna,
Hector.
Miss USA 2016.
I look like UAA. I look like the real
Hector.
United Arab Emirates
Hector.
national
Oh
director.
my God.
Hector.
Ah,
No. Take that off, Hector.
Oh, keep it on. Keep it on.
You know.
yeah, don't do that. Well, guys, sure.
Yeah.
Just
Give it
why
on, give
it
it
was
on.
my example. What I was saying that, yeah, for example, that Shauna Miss USA 2016. There's still people, at least in Latin America, in my culture, that they still, my friends, how she won. I'm like, okay, let me see. She has an amazing body. Like, she's extremely elegant. She answered amazing the final answers, and she has a great story. Like, how she cannot win. But that's what I was talking about, because like a lot of people, even still, they say that some people say ugly, but for me, she's like the complete package. It's not about face, anymore. I mean, it's more about the complete package. Maybe that's what I wanted to say. It's not about like, oh, it's a beautiful face, she needs to win.
Correct.
No, you need to see more. You need to see the complete, full package. And I think that Shaun is a great example about what I wanted to say.
Yeah, Maria Tatil from Australia is
Yeah.
an amazing example.
Our Maria.
Short girl. She's not Caucasian. But she speaks well. She is commercially beautiful. Yes, absolutely. But she's a fantastic example of where diversity can actually lead you. So
Right, but you know what? Before social media, if Maria Tatil had competed in Miss Universe 20 years ago, she would not have made it. They would have ignored her.
Never.
She probably would not have won Miss
Never.
Universe
Yep.
Australia.
Which
It's
I mean,
all-
again, times are changing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right, Rafa. But yeah, times are changing, and we've got all of these other mediums that we're exposed to. So yeah, I think to ensure our survival, as much as we love the tradition, we kind of need to listen to what's happening. And yeah, but maybe
Okay,
you're
so
right. Your
with-
prediction could probably be right.
with all these woke culture requirements that we're trying to impose on these pageants, what then is the sense of continuing having special pageants for transgendered women or for non-white women or for married women Why not just become all inclusive? And that's the purpose behind this new pageant called Universal Woman Pageant. Okay, just a disclaimer, I'm not promoting or advertising Universal Woman Pageant. I'm basically stating that there's a new pageant where everybody is welcome. And I did debate this with the national director, Carolina, and I asked her, okay, if you don't have a height requirement, are you going to accept midgets, like little dwarfs, like little people? If you don't have a height requirement, are you going to accept women who are 8 feet tall? What if the last two standing is a midget and a giant? What's going to happen? You know what I mean? You know what I mean, baby? So, and she was just like puzzled. She didn't know what to respond.
Showtime!
No. Well, at certain parts of the world, some people consider midgets as beautiful, you know? It's fluid. Some consider giants
I hate
perfect.
that word fluid. It's just an excuse, to accept all these woke stuff. Ugh.
Rafa. Rafa. Oh my God, Rafa.
Wine, please.
All right.
Give Rafa some wine.
It's just like, I'm going